I used to believe marriages didn't fall apart overnight. I thought they cracked slowly, like ice. Quiet, subtle, invisible from the surface. But sometimes all it takes is one moment, one message, one truth that doesn't fit the life you thought you were living, and suddenly everything you trusted collapses in seconds. I remember the exact moment the first crack formed. It was 1:14 a.m. I woke up because I heard her laughing, a soft, private laugh, the kind she hadn't used with me in months. I turned over, expecting to see her watching some late-night comedy, but she wasn't next to me. The sheets were cold. I followed the sound down the hallway, and there she was, Emily, sitting on the floor in the dim glow of her phone, whispering into her mic with this gentle smile, a smile I hadn't earned in a long time. When she finally noticed me, she flinched like I'd caught her committing a crime. "Oh, hey," she said too quickly, locking her phone instantly. "I was just looking at venues." "Venues? For our anniversary?" That's what she said. But I wasn't stupid. People don't laugh like that with strangers, or with websites, or with silence. They laugh with someone they trust, someone they want. She stood up and brushed past me with this clipped, irritated sigh, like I had interrupted something important. When she crawled into bed, she turned her back to me and pulled the blankets tight around her body like she wanted a physical boundary between us. I lay there staring at the ceiling, listening to her breathe. Except it wasn't calm breathing. It was shaky. Guilt has a sound. And that was it. The next morning, she acted normal. Too normal. Overly cheerful, overly affectionate, kissing my cheek, making pancakes even though she hadn't cooked in weeks. But there was a hollowness underneath it. A performance, not love. She smelled like a new perfume. Something floral. Expensive. Not for me, I would have remembered. "Big things coming," she whispered while pouring coffee, her voice almost rehearsed. "This anniversary is going to change everything." She said it like a promise, but it felt like a warning. I tried to brush it off. I tried to be rational. I told myself I was tired, paranoid, insecure. I told myself marriages had phases, ruts, disconnects. I told myself she loved me. I was a fool. Over the next week, everything got worse. Her phone never left her hand. She showered with it, slept with it under her pillow. She turned off notifications, something she'd never done in 5 years. And every time the screen lit up, she angled it away from me like protecting a secret. We barely spoke at dinner. She was physically present, but mentally somewhere else. Somewhere excited, somewhere alive. And every now and then, I'd catch her smiling at her phone with this softness I used to think was ours. One night she came home late, too late, hair messy, lipstick faded, smelling like that same perfume. I asked her where she'd been. She didn't even blink. Planning. Just that. One word. Cold. Final. Like I wasn't entitled to more. When I pushed gently, she rolled her eyes and muttered, "Stop acting threatened. You're overthinking everything." Overthinking, right. That word gnawed at me. The next day while she showered, her phone buzzed on the counter. I didn't touch it. I didn't unlock it. I didn't even move. I just looked. A preview. "Tyler, you looked incredible today. Same time tomorrow?" My chest tightened so hard I couldn't breathe. It felt like someone had reached inside me and ripped something out by hand. I stared at her blurry reflection behind the shower glass. Oblivious, humming, happy, happy. She hadn't been happy with me in months, but she was happy with him. I walked out of the bathroom without a word. I sat on the edge of the bed, gripping my hands until my nails cut into my palms. I wanted to scream, break something, confront her, demand answers. But I didn't trust myself not to fall apart. That night I didn't sleep. I just lay there beside her, staring into the darkness, listening to her breathing, steady, peaceful, as if she hadn't detonated our marriage. At 3:26 a.m., she murmured one name in her sleep. Not mine, his. My blood ran cold. You can lie when you're awake. You can perform, pretend, spin stories. But your subconscious doesn't fake affection. She dreamed of him, not me. The next morning, I didn't say a word. I watched her get dressed, curling her hair, applying lipstick with unusual care. She checked herself in the mirror, smiling faintly, like she couldn't wait to see whoever she was seeing. Before she left, she kissed me on the forehead. Not the mouth, not the cheek, the forehead. The kind of kiss you give a child, or a sick relative, or someone you pity. "You'll thank me soon," she said softly. I forced a smile. "Will I?" She paused, surprised by my tone. Then she shrugged and walked out the door. The second it slammed shut, something inside me shattered. Not quietly, not gently. It was violent, loud, final. She wasn't mine anymore. Maybe she hadn't been for a long time. I didn't care about proof. I didn't need a smoking gun. I'd seen enough, heard enough, felt enough. The betrayal wasn't physical, not yet, but emotional betrayal is worse. You can compete with a body. You can't compete with someone's heart already beating for someone else. I grabbed my keys and followed her, not because I wanted drama, but because I needed truth. Real truth. The kind that doesn't hide behind excuses. She drove across town, parked near a boutique cafe. I stayed far enough that she wouldn't see me. She checked her reflection in her phone, touched up her lipstick, then stepped out. And there he was. Tyler, tall, confident, smirking like he knew something I didn't, like he knew he'd already won. They didn't shake hands. They didn't exchange awkward greetings. They hugged, not polite, not quick. His hand slid behind her back, pulling her close, and she melted into him. Melted, like she belonged there, like she'd been waiting for that touch. My vision blurred, my throat burned, my hands shook so violently I had to grip the steering wheel just to stay grounded. I wasn't watching two exes reconnect. I was watching my wife give her heart to someone else. And the worst part? She looked happy, happier than she'd looked with me in months, maybe years. They walked inside, shoulder brushing shoulder, laughing, whispering. Her fingers grazed his arm. He leaned in close, too close. She didn't pull away. She didn't even hesitate. I sat there for 40 agonizing minutes, watching her pour her joy into another man, watching her forget me, watching my marriage die in real time. And I realized something brutal. She wasn't conflicted. She wasn't confused. She was gone, emotionally gone. I drove home like a ghost, barely aware of the road. When I walked into our bedroom, everything looked wrong. The framed wedding photos felt like taunts. The rings on the dresser felt like props. Our marriage felt like a lie I'd been too loyal to question. That night when she came home, she didn't apologize, didn't explain, didn't even look guilty. She tossed her purse on the couch, kicked off her heels and said, "God, I'm exhausted." Exhausted from him, not us. I stared at her and asked quietly, "Are you seeing him?" She didn't flinch, didn't look scared or ashamed. She laughed. "You're overreacting," she scoffed. "Tyler is just helping me plan our anniversary. Stop being paranoid." She walked past me, brushing my shoulder, muttering, "Grow up, grow up." That was the moment something inside me died. Not love, not hope, respect. And when respect dies, everything else follows. And I knew exactly where to start. Our anniversary and her ex's wife. The one person who deserved the truth more than I did. The person who could help me end the lies. For both of us. And trust me, I wasn't planning an anniversary. I was planning a reckoning. The night air hit us as we stepped into the rooftop, my heart hammering in a mix of dread and focus. Emily froze the moment she saw the room. Not candles, not roses, not the romantic surprise she had imagined, but Rachel, standing there with a folder of printed messages, eyes sharp and unyielding. The sounds in that lobby felt muted, like someone had shoved my head underwater. Emily's voice was cracking, shaking, begging, while Rachel kept pacing, her hands trembling with rage, waving the evidence like a judge ready to deliver a verdict. I didn't say a word. I just watched, because for the first time in months, I wasn't confused. I wasn't guessing. I wasn't doubting myself. I was seeing everything exactly as it was, a marriage that had already died. We were just finally hearing the corpse hit the floor. Emily grabbed my arm, hard, her nails dug into my skin. "Please, please, just listen. It wasn't physical. It wasn't." I turned my head slowly, and for the first time the entire night, I spoke. It doesn't have to be physical to be cheating. Her lip trembled. She backed up like I'd hit her. Because she knew it was true. She had crossed the line months ago. The physical affair would have just been the sequel. The real betrayal already happened, when she gave another man the part of her heart that belonged to me. Rachel stepped closer, her voice low and venomous. He told me he never loved me. Did he tell you that too? Emily froze. Her pupils shrank. Her breathing hitched. And that silence answered everything. Because she didn't deny it. She couldn't. She had heard him say that. She'd kept it, hidden it, protected it, like a secret treasure. Rachel's laugh was broken. Wow, so I was married to a man who hated me, and you were married to a woman who loved him. And right there, something inside Emily snapped, not in anger, but in horror, because she suddenly understood what she'd done. Not the texts, not the calls, not the anniversary lies. She'd fallen back in love with her ex. While wearing my ring, her knees buckled and she collapsed onto the lobby floor, sobbing. Real sobbing. The kind that makes people stop what they're doing. Guests stared. Phones came out. People whispered. She didn't care. She crawled, actually crawled, toward me, grabbing my pant leg, her voice shredded. I chose you. I married you. I love you. I was confused. I was stupid. I didn't know how to handle everything. Please, please don't leave me. If she had said that 2 weeks earlier, maybe it would have hit me like a knife. Tonight, it hit like nothing. Because love doesn't beg after it's been lying for months. Love doesn't hide whispers in the dark. Love doesn't need a secret man to plan a marriage celebration. Everything she was saying was too late. I walked past her, past Rachel, past the staring lobby, past the scattered fragments of the life I thought I had. I didn't turn back. Not once. Divorce doesn't feel like freedom at first. It feels like amputation. The next morning, I woke up in a hotel room that smelled like industrial soap and loneliness. My phone had 47 missed calls, 22 texts, 3 voicemails, all Emily. The last text. I'm going to the hospital. I can't breathe. Manipulation or breakdown, I didn't know. And for the first time in our marriage, I didn't rush to fix her. I didn't reply. Instead, I forwarded everything to my lawyer, because pain is painful. But betrayal is clarifying. Within 48 hours, the house keys were returned. Bank accounts separated. Attorney letters sent. Emily tried everything. Apologies, threats, promises. Voicemails where she whispered like a ghost. Messages where she screamed like a storm. Then, silence, which was somehow worse. Meanwhile, Rachel updated her relationship status to divorced on Facebook with a single caption. Never ignore the quiet signs. The comments exploded. Family, friends, co-workers, everyone had an opinion. And suddenly, Emily and I weren't a couple. We were entertainment. Speculation turned into gossip. Gossip turned into judgment. Judgment turned into isolation. That's when the brutal part hit her. Because the same people who praised her confidence, her independence, her freedom to be friends with her ex, were now calling her desperate, pathetic, selfish, a liar. She tried texting me one last time. Not an apology. Just, I ruined the only thing that was real. I stared at it for a long time, then deleted the message without replying. Because closure isn't something you give someone who burned your home down. Closure is something you give yourself when you finally walk away from the ashes. 3 months later, I ran into someone at a grocery store. Our mutual friend, Jenna. The one who always said Emily was too close to her ex. The one I brushed off as dramatic. She hesitated, then said, "You know, Tyler, he moved back in with his parents. Rachel kicked him out. He tried calling Emily, but she blocked him. She's in therapy now." It should have made me feel vindicated. Instead, it just felt empty, because everyone lost. Everyone got hurt, and nobody got what they thought they wanted. Not Emily, not Rachel, not Tyler, not me. Betrayal doesn't crown a winner. It buries everyone. The divorce finalized without a dramatic courtroom showdown. No final speech. No poetic last conversation. Just a signature. A silent handshake between lawyers. And a life ending with no applause. The last time I saw Emily was in the courthouse hallway. She looked smaller, thinner, like someone had drained the color out of her. Her eyes lifted slowly, and for a second, we just stared. No accusations, no anger, just two people who used to know each other. She opened her mouth like she wanted to say something, but didn't. She just nodded, a tiny broken nod. I nodded back, and we walked in opposite directions. That was it. No redemption arc, no dramatic reconciliation, just the truth. Some things don't heal. Some betrayals don't fade. Some marriages don't survive the moment someone decides their ego matters more than their vows. People always ask me the same question. Do you regret setting that trap? No, because I didn't destroy my marriage. I just revealed the way it was already dying. The truth didn't break us. The truth showed we were already broken. And the anniversary we never celebrated? Turns out it wasn't the death of something beautiful. It was the funeral of something fake, brutal, final, and real.